out of jail. But first and foremost, I want to give a thank you to my brother, Darth Vader, for cash apping me a donation early this morning. I wanted to go live, but unfortunately, I was still in YouTube's jail. So that's the reason why you haven't been, seeing no lives or me uploading videos, because how this happened, I had did a podcast with my brother James Walker, and then the topic of, um, the topic of COVID came up. So, because of my personal opinion, YouTube said that I violated um, they guidelines, community guidelines, and they gave my channel a strike. So that strike is going to be on my channel for the next 85 days. But along with that strike, you can't post anything. You can't post. You cannot upload videos. You can't go live. You can't, put up, post anything on your community walls. So that happened when I did the podcast. I believe it was last Tuesday. And when you have that strike, you can't do nothing for an entire week. So the week is up. I can go back to normal, but I will not be discussing anything, because after that podcast, I got an email from YouTube saying I violated their community guidelines with medical misinformation, when all I was stating was my opinion on it. But because of that, I do not want to get any more strikes, because this strike is going to last. This one strike is going to last until probably December. And I got to walk basically on eggshells. If you get 2 strikes, you won't be able to post anything for 2 weeks. If you get 3 strikes, they take your channel. And I love y'all too much. And I've worked too hard to build Gun Freak Nation up to a little bit over 20,000 to have it to be snatched away from me. It already happened last October when that hacker, hacked into my computer and locked me out of my account. And, it's a long story, man. And then when I got it back, when YouTube gave me my channel back, YouTube took it down because of the bullshit, scam shit that the hacker had posted. So I had to prove to them, they had to do an investigation to realize that it wasn't me. It was like, it's 2 different camps of YouTube, man. So I don't want to go through that again, losing my channel. So I will not be talking about no more COVID. I ain't talking about none of that. If I do decide to do another podcast, I'm going to let you know ahead of time. I ain't talking about nothing medical. I'm not trying to get no more strikes on my channel. I don't have my channel for over 10 years. Even though the first maybe 8 years, no, way over 10 years. I remember having my channel since like 90, since like 2004, some shit like that. But anyway, man, it's been a lot going on. I want to, give a special thank you to Darth Vader for thinking about me, for cash apping me earlier. And like I say, usually when somebody cash app me, I immediately go live. If I ain't driving in my car or something, I'll pull off on the side of the road. But I just want to talk about these savages and to be safe, because the shit, hit home. and it's personal. You know, it's like I don't know what it is, man. I remember when October used to be my favorite month of the year. You know, my son's birthday is in October. Um, Halloween, one of my favorite holidays. I got a brother that's his birthday is in October, and it's just my favorite time of the year. But last year, you know, most of October, matter of fact, in all of October, I didn't even have my channel. I didn't get my channel back until November, so I really didn't enjoy it. And then my girlfriend, you know, her brother, you know, lost his life. So all that shit happened last October. So, man, on October 1st, I lost my nephew at the hands of savages. That was Saturday night going into Sunday at around 1:32 a.m. He lost his life. I'm gonna go into, you know, I don't want to go too deep into details, but my nephew was only 32 years old, and he had just turned 32 on September the 5th, and he had two daughters, and um, he was a good nephew. His father passed away, which is my brother, back in 2018, and he looked up to me. And I often mentioned my nephew on some of my lives. I had wanted him to do a podcast, you know, because I'm the one that motivated him to get his CPL. I'm the one that took him to Spencer's gun shop at Freedom Holsters to get his first gun, which was a Glock 26, so he can conceal carry. And I'm the one that was telling him about these fucking savages. And I remember like discussing with him about the murders that took place this summer here in the D in Detroit. Like he knew the guy that got killed at the L. George's Coney Island right there on Evergreen and Joy Road. He knew the guy. And I was talking to him about that situation. And I was like, where the guy went wrong. And, you know, and then I remember talking to him about the savage that was in the gas station that got into it with the clerk. And the clerk locked innocent people up. You know, the gas station clerk locked people up in the gas station with that savage. And the savage was like, if you don't unlock this door, I'm going to shoot everybody in here. And he did. And he killed one person. We talked about that. And that's why I was telling him the importance of buying a firearm and the importance of getting your CPL so you can be able to defend yourself and protect your family. He had two young daughters. And when my cars needed work back in the summer, he was here almost every day. When I got that citation because my brake light was out and that cop gave me that citation, my nephew was the one that got me right, that fixed everything on my cars, on my vehicles. And this is somebody that been in my life for 32 years. And just to see him be murdered, to see him murdered at his own sister's birthday party. They had rented out a hall and they had threw a birthday party. And I just wish they would have had security to check motherfuckers coming up in there. And the fucked up thing about it is a so-called friend, a childhood friend of his, brought some savages in there that he did not know. And it made them uncomfortable because you can when you around people, man, you can feel their energy and they vibe, man. And these people, he was like, I don't know who these strangers are. Why you bringing them up in our party like this? But that ain't how the shit started. I'm gonna tell y'all how the shit started, man. The dude that my nephew know, the one that brought the savages, my nephew, it was 4 savages plus the dude that was childhood friends with I don't even know if I hope I don't even get a strike for this. YouTube on me right now. To make a long story short, my nephew poured a drink for him. He set the cup down next to one of the savages' so-called girlfriend. I guess the cup was too close to her, so she went and told her boyfriend Savage that, oh, he disrespected me. He set a cup down next to me, too close to me, and the Savage called himself checking my nephew. So my nephew was like, you wasn't even invited here. If you don't like it, leave. And that shit escalated from that. My nephew, he didn't have a chance, man. It wasn't just one shooter, it was 2 shooters. He was gunned down by these dirty ass savages. And even when he was laying down on the ground, in the floor at that hall, they shot him. So I'm devastated right now. I'm hurt. I'm angry as hell. And I just wish that I would have been there to have my nephews back, because he didn't see that coming. You know what I'm saying? He was armed because he got his CPL legit, but he didn't see it coming. And I just wish, it just play over and over and over in my mind. I just wish I could have been there to have my nephews back. Number one, I would have stepped in and tried to de-escalate the situation, because at the end of the day, it wasn't worth it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't worth it. My nephew didn't fuck with nobody. He at his sister's birthday party, enjoying himself, and here come these fucking demonic ass savages. And I just wish I would have been there to try to de-escalate it. But you better best believe that I would never ever stand by and watch my nephew get gunned down. No, I would have took them bullets for my nephew. That's how much I loved him. You feel me? That's how much I loved him. You know why? Because I know he would have did the same thing for me. And it's just so fucked up, because they ain't even, I don't really go out like that and go to, parties and functions. I used to do it when I was younger, but I stick to myself. But I ain't even know that they was throwing that party. I know I saw they was promoting it like on Facebook and Instagram, but I didn't know that it was going to take place that night. And to be murdered in front of your family. Now, his sister, which is my niece, is going to be traumatized on her birthday for the rest of her life. That she got to live with her brother being murdered at an event that she threw, that she put together. He was murdered right in front of his mother. Somebody had said that it was an altercation going on, and she was trying to find her son. And when she finally, found my nephew, her son, it was already too late. They had already, shot him down right in front of her, inches away from her. So that happened October the 1st. So I'm fucking angry. I'm fucking pissed off. Now they caught one of the fucking assholes. They caught one of the assholes, one of the fucking savages. He's in custody. But the other one is on the they still haven't apprehended the other one. And it come to find out they two brothers. You know, so while my nephew was arguing with one of the brothers, the other one snuck him and pulled this gun and gunned him down. And I'm beyond pissed off. I'm angry. I'm hurt. I'm sad. I haven't been able to really sleep. I ain't really had an appetite. It's like this. Death has hit my family so many times, you know, throughout the years. But I'm gonna tell you something. They all died. They died. None of them was ever murdered. So by my nephew being murdered, it's like he didn't die from a cancer or some type of illness, or he didn't die from a car accident. He was murdered, man. And when you have somebody's life basically stolen from them, that shit hit different. It hit fucking different, man. He's supposed to still fucking be here. He had 2 young daughters. And who give you the fucking right to kill somebody over something so fucking senseless, over a fucking glass, a fucking cup? That's why I say some of these women, they like to stir up shit so they can sit back and watch a fight. Whoever this pussy ass nigga was, whoever this fucking savage was, he was a weak ass, punk ass nigga. To let a bitch gas you up, to start a confrontation over something so fucking stupid. And this is why I say you got to arm up and know how to use your fucking gun and know your the environment that you in. Where my nephew fucked up at, he shouldn't even never really, you know, even though they picked the fight with him, picked the argument with him, and I understand why he was like, y'all got to go. He was just trying to make them motherfuckers leave, and he had every fucking right to do it because he didn't know them. And they come in there on some rowdy shit. I just wish that he just wouldn't have inserted himself into a situation where it was only him, and you dealing with multiple motherfucking savages, man. You arguing with one, but you can't keep your eye on the other 3 motherfuckers. And I just wish I would have been there. But I'll tell you one thing, when they have his funeral, and when they have a memorial where everybody get together, or a balloon event where they release balloons, I will be there. And you better goddamn know that I'm gonna be heavily armed. Fuck that Glock. I'm bringing my motherfucking Draco or my Galil Ace. I'm bringing that. So if anything fucking break out, I'm gonna fucking handle it. I'm gonna fucking handle it. I don't give a fuck. I'm beyond pissed the fuck off. These fucking savages, they don't have no fucking, they don't give a fuck about taking a human life, man. They don't understand who they took away. They don't care. They don't fucking care. But my nephew, me and him, we were so close. And he watched my channel. And he was like, you the one that motivated me to want to go and get my CPL. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. When he drove up in my driveway, man, you should have saw the smile on his face. How happy he was to have his CPL. And I'm like, that's what it's all about. You know, being legal so you can carry, conceal carry, you know? And never in a million years, man, would I would have thought that he would have ended up being a murder victim. And it's like, man, nobody else in that hall that they rented, nobody else was armed, so nobody else really had his back. But I just know that if I would have been there, and I just wish I can just go back in time. You know, I wish they wouldn't have never had that motherfucker celebration at that place, man. You know, number one mistake, and I'm not criticizing anybody, but they should have had security. I would have been there and did security and search motherfuckers. But it was supposed to have been a family and friend event only. And you had this one motherfucker, this one so-called friend, bringing some niggas that they didn't know. And you can look at the motherfuckers. I got their pictures. They don't, my nieces and stuff don't search them out and found out, you know how when people celebrating birthday parties, you have your phone out and you videotaping people dance and stuff. You can see them motherfuckers in the background. And the odd thing about it, everybody else is enjoying themselves, laughing, you know, drinking, dancing. But when you see them motherfuckers in the background, they're just standing, looking, and sizing everybody up. Like they went there on some shit. To start some shit. And they went in there, they brought guns. They had guns on them. And when my nephew, was telling them to leave, he didn't know that them motherfuckers had guns. And I'm like, before he can even get his gun, they like I say, man, I've had a lot of death in my family. I had a brother pass away August the 8th. You know, he had health issues. But never in a million years would I would think I would lose my nephew October 1st. This is just, this happened, 3 days ago. I never in a million years. I was just with him. I remember the last time I saw him, he was working on my Cadillac, and I needed the third brake light, the light that goes across the trunk. You know, on them Cadillac CTSs, you got the light, you got the third brake light that goes across the trunk. So when that cop gave me that citation for one of my from my left brake light being out, I had him fix it, but I'm like, you know what? I ain't giving the cops no more excuses. I want that light, the third brake light fixed too, nephew. And he's like, I'm gonna get it together for you. And man, we went and ordered some LED lights, and he got his hot glue gun, and he cracked that motherfucker open, took off the old LED light, and put in that new one, and wired it up. And that motherfucker was working like it was, man, brand new, man. His nickname was Jack of all trades because he was good with his hands, and he was a mechanic just like his dad, And one of the coolest, nicest people you can ever meet. And the fact that, he looked up to me, and I inspired him and his brother to get their CPLs. And I know his brother is devastated too because he was there, but he had to leave early to go to work. So the sister, she's devastated because it was her party that she put together that, he was murdered at, man. So this shit really hit home. I know I talk about a lot of home invasions and a lot of other murders, man, but this shit is personal. This shit like really fucking me up. Like I said, I haven't been able to sleep. All I think about is my nephew, man. it just plays like a movie in my mind, you know. And all of the time that you know, we spend together, you know. I don't usually get this personal, but Gun Freak Nation, y'all my people, man, and you know, I love y'all. You feel me? And I just want y'all to take from this, man, to know that some savage shit can go down at any time, anywhere. My nephew let his guard down. Everybody let their guard down because he was at a family event. He was at his sister's birthday party. Never in a million years would he have thought that he would be murdered there in front of his family, in front of his mom. And they was trying to do, you know, CPR on him, but when one of the brothers, the brother that from what the detectives, because we initially thought it was just one shooter, but I'm like, wait a minute, man, how would my nephew let somebody get the drop on him and he armed himself? Well, when they went downtown to talk to the detectives, they found out when you know the place where they had the party, it had surveillance cameras all throughout that motherfucker. Detective said it was two shooters. So when my nephew was arguing with the one dude that confronted him that started the shit, hey man, why you put this glass next, why you put this cup next to my woman? And he told them, if you don't like it, leave. So while he arguing with him, the other brother, he wasn't paying attention to the other brother. He, first of all, he didn't know they was armed, or else he would have had his gun out too, or whatnot. Because I told him, I said, anytime when you got to pull the motherfucking gun, you better use that bitch. It ain't nothing, and it don't be trying to flex or anything. If you got to pull that bitch, use that bitch. So the other brother, he didn't notice the other brother had a gun and shot him in the chest. They say he was shot twice in the chest and he fell down. While he was down, the brother that he was arguing with, the one he was arguing with, came over him and then shot him again, another 2 times in the chest while he was laying down. So while he was already down, so that's just evil right there. They can't say it was self-defense or none of that shit. So that's what I've been going through, man. You know, I've been wanting to go live and discuss it and talk about it. But I was in YouTube jail, man. They didn't like it. They didn't like my opinion about, you know, what, you know, I don't even want to bring it up because I don't need another strike on my channel. And I don't think I'm going to do no more podcasts no more, even though it wasn't Brother James Walker that brought it up. It was me that brought it up. But I just don't, that ain't my cup of tea anyway. That's why I really didn't, you know, I couldn't go along with it when me and Johnny Snow, and there's nothing against Johnny Snow. It's just, that ain't my cup of tea. I just love my freedom. I ain't trying to be committed to having to do something at a certain time and for a certain longevity. You know, that just ain't me. I'm gonna do my podcasts, but it's gonna be when I want to do it and when I want to go live. I might want to do it at 6 in the morning. I might want to do it at 12 in the afternoon. I ain't trying to just, you know, commit myself to that. That just ain't me. But I'm missing my nephew like crazy. And like I say, when I've had a lot of death from my sister to my other nephew back in 2005, to my father, to my mother, my brother that passed in 2018, my mom passed in my sister passed in 2000, my nephew, he passed in 2006, my dad passed in 2007, my mom, she passed in 2017. My oldest brother passed in 2018, and then in 2022, I had another little nephew that was only 4 months old, passed away. I did the balloon release. I live streamed that one, and my nephew was there. Me and him was talking. If y'all go into, in my scroll down where it say balloon release, you'll see my nephew. So that was in 2022 when I lost my 4-month-old nephew. And then in this year, August, I lost another brother, August 5th, and now my nephew, man. But I'm telling you, this shit hit different because his life was took. He was murdered. He was killed, man. And I just wish I would have been there. Because I would have did everything in my power, because I know my nephew listened to me. I would have did everything in my power to try to de-escalate. I ain't about violence. I would have grabbed him, dragged his ass, and be like, hey man, don't waste your time fighting with these savages, you know. But the thing of it is, witnesses said, you know, the family members said he was just simply trying to tell them to leave, to make them leave, man, because they was up in there being disrespectful. They was walking around sizing people up. And what type of fucking so-called friend would bring fucking people up in there that got guns and shit, man? I don't get it, man. I don't get it for the life of me. But I would have tried to de-escalate it from getting to that point. But you better believe I would have let them motherfuckers have it. I would have let them have it. I might be in jail right now, but I to save my nephew's life, hey, I might be dead too, but I would have went down fighting for my nephew, for my fam, because I know he would have did the same for me. He would have did the same for me, man. He loved me and I loved him. And that's all that really matters at the end of the day, you feel me? But everybody is hurting, man. Everybody. It's been nights I can't do nothing but cry. And you know, and just think about them, man. I try to think about the good times, man. And I hate when people was like, well, it was just his time. Nah, I don't buy that shit. It was just his time. Fuck that. Them fucking savages, man. I just wish he would have been more alert of his surroundings. You feel me? You got to think of the environment, man. Most of the people that was in there didn't even know it was an altercation happening because of the fucking loud music and shit. And people dancing and having a good time. That's what it was supposed to have been about. They didn't realize it until they heard shots fired, man. And the shit was so fucked up, the shit didn't even make the news. It didn't even make the news, you know. But, you know, my nephew's life mattered. And I wish I could have been there. I wish I can just turn back the hands of time and would have been there. But this shit ain't right, man. He's supposed to be here. He loved his daughters. He was a good father, a good nephew. And he definitely gonna be missed. He's definitely gonna be missed. And like they say, they caught one of them motherfuckers, and they after the second one. The two motherfuckers. I got their pictures. I know exactly how the fuck they look. One of them got braids. The motherfucker had two ponytails on each side of his head, and then the other motherfucker his hair was short. You know, ugly than the motherfucker. Both of them motherfuckers are ugly. He probably was jealous of my handsome nephew. But he's supposed to be here. I don't buy into that. Well, it was just his time. I would have rather for my nephew to get the drop on their asses and take them out. He might be in jail, but at least he would still be alive. But the shit was justified. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like He couldn't have known that they had guns. That's why I say, man, if you getting into it with somebody, and especially somebody that don't want to leave, all them motherfuckers had to do was turn around and leave. Because when they shot my nephew, he was in the entryway by the front door. He was in the entryway. When the shots rang out, people, running out of that place, and it was like, where's Juan at? Everybody out, but he the only one missing. So when they went back in there, he laying right on his back, man. Blood, they said blood was coming out of his mouth, his nose. They say he was shot 4 times in the chest, man. He died right there on the spot. And my nieces, they didn't actually see the shooting, but they was there. They couldn't even get in their cars because once the police got there, they blocked off, the parking lot, and they blocked it off with the yellow tape, man. And I'll never forget it. It was like about 2 a.m. I'm laying in bed, and I get a phone call from my niece. I said, "What the fuck? What they calling me for this late in the morning?" I was almost scared to answer the phone. And as soon as I answered, she was like, "Did you hear what happened?" Oh, man. God damn. My heart just dropped. Because she didn't tell me right away. And I said, "Nah, what happened?" She was like, "Ron got killed tonight at his sister's birthday party, man." And I just dropped the phone, man. And I remember like balling my fist and just hitting the fucking wall. I was like in this fucking state of shock. Like I couldn't fucking believe. They say death comes as a shock, but this shit, man, it just had me numb. I couldn't believe it. It was like I was in a fucking nightmare. And I just want to wake up from it and be like, nah, this can't be happening, man. This can't be real. This can't be. I'm gonna miss him. And I'm angry. I'm very, very, very angry. I'm trying not to let it consume me because I know it's not good. I know I'm stressed. I'm sad. Um, he didn't deserve for that to happen. He's supposed to be here right now at home with his girlfriend and they 2 daughters, man. And they robbed my nephew of his life. They robbed his 2 daughters of their father. They robbed me of my nephew. So nobody is immune from this shit, man. That's why I say y'all gotta keep your head on the swivel. If you don't have your concealed carry license, please go out and get it. And even though my nephew did the right thing and he was armed, some way, somehow, man, they got the drop on him. He was focused on the savage that he was arguing with, having words with. When the other one, pulled his gun, he didn't see that shit coming, man. And to go out like that in front of your family at your sister's party, man, that's like the ultimate fucking disrespect, man. And I want to say some things, but I ain't trying to get another motherfucking strike on my goddamn channel. That's all I'm going to say. I want to do some things, but I'm going to let the law handle it. Because I love my son. I love my girlfriend. I don't want to lose my freedom. But if I could get away, I ain't gonna say nothing else. I'm not gonna say nothing else. I don't need no more motherfucking strikes. But he got family that don't fucking play. On his mother's side, they don't fucking play. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. And rightfully so, them motherfuckers deserve everything they get. If they get found and caught, god damn it. That's all I'm gonna say. But Gun Freak Nation, I love y'all, man. This shit is personal. This shit hit home, man. This shit broke my fucking heart. It broke my heart. I'm so fucking angry. I'm in so much fucking pain. I miss my nephew. I miss him dearly. He gonna be fucking missed, man. Everybody that knew him loves him. You feel me? And that shit just ain't right, man. It just ain't right. These low down savages. That's what they are. That's what the fuck they are. That's what the fuck they are, man. Fucking savages. And when one of them try, you don't have no fucking mercy. See, my thing is, I don't think my nephew, you know, he didn't know that they was armed, man. And at the same time, he wasn't trying to be in a situation where he would want to shoot somebody because he knew the consequences. He wasn't trying to go to jail and leave his daughters behind. He wasn't trying to lose his CPL. He just got back in the summer. I think he got his CPL back in July. Because just as easy as you can get your CPL, you can get that motherfucker took away from you if you just make the slightest motherfucking mistake. He was just simply telling them motherfuckers they had to go. Them niggas gotta go. And it was just having words, man. And the fucked up thing is over a bitch. No, I mean, no disrespect for the real women, but this was a bitch. The purposely instigate some shit, and he was a weak ass, punk ass nigga to feed into that shit and try to check somebody at their fucking event. So my nephew had every motherfucking right to tell them bitch ass niggas to get the fuck on, to leave. He had every right to do that. Number one, he did not know them and he did not invite them. His old bitch ass so-called childhood friend did that shit. And that nigga hiding out too. Y'all just be careful out there, man. Be careful of your surroundings. Be careful of your so-called friends. Because a lot of them motherfuckers is fake fucking friends that really hate you. They hating on you on the low. Because I'm going to tell you something. That so-called friend that brought them savages, let me give you a brief history on this shit, man. They grew up together. My nephew's mother took that so-called friend in, and his mama. So they was basically raised together. They was staying with them. So tell me this, y'all. If that was supposed to have been like his brother, right? Why would he bring some motherfuckers to their event, to their birthday party? He 9 out of 10, he probably knew they had guns. Now here's the shit that make this make sense. He himself, they said, had a gun on him. So he watched these two savages that he brought. Now his story is he brought one of his friends, and then that friend brought his friends that he didn't know them, but they was friends of his friend. That's his story. So if that's the case, and then you had a gun on you, so you watched these two savages that you claim that you don't know, but they friends of your friend, you watch them gun down your so-called brother that you been childhood friends with. You said you stood by and watched them do it, and you had a gun on you, and that's supposed to be your brother, somebody you've been knowing since childhood, and you gonna let these two motherfuckers gun them down? Even worse. Okay, the first savage shot him, right? So when he was down, laying on the ground, you mean you didn't pull your gun to try to stop the one he was arguing with from shooting him too? Because when my nephew was shot, he wasn't shot by the savage he was arguing with. He was shot by the savage's brother. That's how they got the drop on him. But when the savage's brother shot him and he fell back and was on, and he was down, the one he was arguing with went up to him and stood over him, and then he shot him. So it was two shooters. So you mean to tell me that he was your childhood friend and you had a gun on you and you didn't pull it to be like, hey, motherfuckers, that's enough. You shot him once. Or why didn't you go after them? So it's some bullshit in the game, and they need to find that motherfucker, man. That's why he hiding now, because the shit just don't make no sense, man. But like I said, the cops, they arrested one of them, and they looking for the other one. I got their pictures. My nieces done gave me, sent me over videos where they was filming, live streaming and shit from the event, and you can see them dirty motherfucking savages in the background, and they was looking evil as fuck. They would have been on my radar too. Imagine you having an event and you got your family and friends there, and then all of a sudden here walk in these fucking savages and shit. Just the way they look gutter. They looked like they was up to no fucking good. They looked at evil. And they said when my nephew actually got there kind of late, so when he got there, they was already there, and they said they was walking around sizing him up. They was sizing everybody up. And like I say, that's the importance, man. If other people, my nephew was the only one, I believe, in that hall that they rented that was armed, man. Like if and like I said, nobody really knew what the fuck was going on because of the loud music. Didn't nobody realize what was going on unless you was right there in the vicinity of when the argument broke out. And it really wasn't no argument. My nephew was just trying to tell them motherfuckers, look, you got to go. You don't came and trying to check me because where I set my cup at, I can sit my motherfucking cup down anywhere the fuck I want to. This is our event. This is our hall that we paid for. Nigga, y'all wasn't invited. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna miss him, man. And to see that he lost his life over something so stupid and senseless. Shit just don't make no fucking sense, and it just fucking pisses me off, man. And like I say, when they do a memorial type of event or a balloon event, I will be there, and you better fucking believe that I'm gonna be heavily armed. You better fucking believe that shit. I'm gonna be security in case these motherfuckers want to show up and start some shit. And if I have to, do what I gotta do, I'm gonna take care of me and mine, man. We family. We gonna stick together and have each other back, man. And I just felt like that particular that night, man, didn't nobody really have my nephew's back, man. And truthfully, they couldn't do nothing because they didn't have no guns, man. They didn't have no guns, so they wasn't trying to get shot. So, that's why I say, get your CPL, get your, your concealed carry license. So, and it ain't about having it, man. You got to have the mentality. You have to have the mindset, man. But I swear to God, I swear to God, if I would have been there, I would have did everything in my power to try to de-escalate that situation. I would have grabbed my nephew and be like, man, it ain't even worth this altercation. It ain't even worth arguing with, man. You know, let him. You know, he all he was trying to do was make him leave. But I'm like, you know what, man? Let's get the fuck up out of here before this shit go left and escalate, man. And I wasn't there, and that shit is like eating me up alive, man. I didn't even know they was throwing that party at that. It was like a cabaret or something, like a hall that they rented, and 32 years old. He had just turned 32, September 5th. 32 years old. I talk about a lot of home invasions, and all of it is real that I talk about, man. You know, from me, word of mouth, people that know the people that it happened to on the news, you know. But I never thought in a million years I'd be talking about some personal shit that hit home, man. Never in a million years, man, would I think my nephew would be a murder victim, man. Like I said, this shit hit different. All the other people in my life, my family, my loved ones, they passed away either because, you know, because they had medical issues, you know. But to be basically have your life taken, to be murdered, to be killed, that's like somebody just stealing your life, man. And they got to pay for that shit. They got to pay for it, you know. But I'm happy that I'm out of YouTube jail. I'm not gonna talk about no kind of medical issues no more on my channel. I don't want to be. I don't want to lose my channel. I'm just happy to be back where I can go live again and I can start back, you know, posting content, man. I don't want to be in YouTube jail no more. But goddamn, man. Once again, my favorite month of the year, October. On the first fucking day, man, my one of my nephews, my favorite nephew, who I'm very very close to, was murdered, man. And I still feel like I'm in a nightmare, man. And I just want to wake up, man. It's like I can't fucking believe it that Ron is he no longer here. It's like he's supposed to be at his house right now. And anything that was fucked up at my house or broke down, all I had to do was make one phone call. I remember he came over here, brought his letter, and he cleaned out my gutters, man. You know, because it was clogging up with all of the branches and leaves, man. And I remember when I was at the other place before I moved here, I was in a townhouse, and in the middle of January, the fucking furnace broke down, and I actually called a furnace guy out. That motherfucker, that was a waste of motherfucking time and a waste of goddamn money. I still had to pay the dude for coming out for coming out. He couldn't even fix it. Talking about it's gonna have to be a specially ordered part. I said, nephew, come over here, man, and you know, and check the furnace out, please. Nephew came down in that basement, man, and he had that motherfucking furnace up and running in like 15 minutes. You know, I'm like, they didn't call him jack of all trades for nothing, man. He would give you his last, man. You know, I'm gonna miss him, man. The only thing that really make me smile and laugh. Hey baby, is you still up? Damn, you know what? We was in the middle of watching the horror movie Talk to Me, and when I I've been checking my YouTube all day because I was like, damn, they got to release me from this YouTube jail soon. So I've been on my phone checking to see could I go live. So when I finally was able to go live, I said first and foremost, let me thank Darth Vader for that Cash App donation he donated to me early this morning. I felt so bad because usually when people Cash App me, I stop what I'm doing and I immediately go live, but I wasn't able to do that because at that time I was still in YouTube jail. I couldn't do it. So we had threw this horror movie on because I like watching horror movies during October. I try to watch a horror movie every fucking night for all 31 days of of October. And I put it on and I was like, well, let me pause the movie. As you can see right now, the movie is paused. It's been paused ever since I've been live, and now she don't fell asleep now, so I don't even want to watch the movie without her. But I just miss. I'm gonna miss my nephew. I'm always love him. I'll never as long as I live, I'll never forget him. And he gonna be used as a rallying. What's the word when you rally people together? I can't pronounce it good, but that's gonna be my rallying cry for people to get fucking armed, get their CPL, but not only just get armed, but um, just try to remove yourself from hostile situations. Try to remove yourself. If you see something going left and you can see it potentially escalating, walk away, man. Cause I even though they were some assholes and they went there to look for trouble and they the ones that started that shit. See, my nephew, he didn't go for bad and he didn't fuck with nobody, but he wasn't no punk either. He ain't gonna let you just punk him out. You know what I'm saying? He gonna stand his ground. And when he said y'all motherfuckers got to go, he meant that shit, man. He had his sister's birthday party. And we got savages there. So, he didn't know that them motherfuckers was armed. He knew that he was armed. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you ever in a situation where you having an altercation, man, you got to automatically assume that the other person can potentially be armed. And you got to watch their every motherfucking goddamn, move. And what I didn't like, man, where I feel like my nephew tactically made a mistake, you arguing and going back and forth with multiple motherfuckers. And I know you felt the sense of security, nephew, because you did have your firearm on you, but still though, man, you cannot watch all them motherfuckers at the same time. And that's how they ultimately got the drop on him. So I wish somebody that was there would have just grabbed them and be like, it ain't worth it, man. Walk away from that shit. I wish that would have happened. But people, like I say, loud music, people playing alcohol, people drinking, people probably smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wasn't nobody thinking some shit like that could happen, man. Like I said, this was supposed to have been like a family event, man. I just wish that I would have been there because I knew that if I would have been there, I would have been near my nephew. That's how close we were. I would have been sitting at a table down next to him and we would have been chopping it up. So I know I would have been there and I know I would have been there to witness this motherfucker, walking up to my nephew trying to check him. But I would have did everything in my power to, calm him down and calm the situation down and try to de-escalate the shit, man. But you just, sometimes you just got evil motherfuckers that go for bad and they really think they're bad because they got guns on them and they so fucking disrespectful, man. And that shit is hard to walk away from, especially when they up in your shit. That's just like somebody coming in your house getting smart with you, catching the attitude with you, trying to check you in your own motherfucking house. You ain't gonna go for that shit. You gonna be like, get the fuck up out of here. And that's exactly what happened. Good morning, y'all. I don't know, man. Like I say, I don't want another strike on my channel. You know, y'all asked to put the pictures up and shit, man. Maybe through an email or something, I'll do it. But I don't want to. I love y'all so much, and I don't want to. I don't want to get a second, strike on my YouTube channel, man. Not being able to, I went live like one time on my second channel. That's one more thing I want to talk about. I want to discuss. I have a second YouTube channel called Life with T Electric. Just type that shit in. Life with T Electric. That's my second backup channel. When a year ago, last October, when the hacker, you know, uh hijacked my channel and YouTube took it down because of the scam shit that the hacker posted, I created a backup channel until I got my main channel back, and it's called Life with T Electric. So I was able to go live, but it ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same as my main channel. I'm trying to protect my main channel. I'm gonna be careful what I say. I don't need I don't need no more strikes on my channel, man. I really don't, But I'm about to jump off, man, and I'm about to baby, you done watching that movie? You sleep, baby? You sleep? We can watch this movie later because I don't think you gonna make it through this movie anyway. Even when if I put it back on, you know what I'm saying? Unless you want to watch it, you want to finish watching it because I'm about to get off the live. You don't want to watch it no more. I don't blame you. We gonna have to watch this motherfucker from the beginning anyway, man. I've been on the live for about an hour, over an hour, shit. Which I'm enjoying talking to my people. I know they miss me and was wondering where the fuck I was at. Shit, I was in YouTube jail, man. But like I said, it's been so much happening, man. I lost my nephew, 32 years old, on some bullshit, man. They took his life over some bullshit, man. Savages and shit, man. So this shit is personal. This shit don't hit home. And I'm hurt. My heart is broke. Um my heart is broke. And I'm to be honest with you, I'm angry than a motherfucker. I'm feeling anger like I ain't never felt this kind of anger in my life before, man. I ain't never felt this kind of anger before, man. It's like it ain't good for me. But I got every right to feel how I feel. They robbed me of my nephew. They robbed my nephew of raising his two young daughters. That shit it ain't right, man. And that's why I want each and every one of y'all, man. Like I say, it ain't about having a gun. It's about knowing what to do with that motherfucker. And it's about being able to, to be tactical in certain situations and shit. You feel me? But I'm about to jump off right now, and I'm gonna post some pictures of my nephew on my since I can post stuff. I'm about to post some pictures of my nephew on my community wall, man. So if y'all want to leave y'all respects and y'all condolences, if y'all want to comment on it, feel free. I already did it on my Instagram, And for those who want to follow me on Instagram, it's T underscore electric 313. Follow me on Instagram. It's T underscore electric 313. So I want y'all to have a productive day, a blessed day, and just keep your head on a swivel. You know what I'm saying? Keep your head on the swivel. My nose congested like a motherfucker. But I love y'all. You hear me? You know, I love y'all. And this is my nephew right here, y'all. I'm gonna try to zoom in on it. That was at the balloon release party right there. There he is right there. That's my nephew right there, man. That's my nephew. There he is. There he is. And I miss you, Juan. I miss you. I miss you. There he is right there. That was at the balloon release party. Well, not a party, but the memorial when my 4-month-old nephew passed away. We was there. That's my nephew in the red shirt right there with the beard, man. That's my nephew right there. And I miss him. You hear me? He didn't deserve that shit right there. He didn't deserve that shit. He didn't deserve that shit, man. These fucking savages, you feel me? These fucking savages. You know, this shit is personal, you feel me? This shit is personal. He's supposed to be here right now. He's supposed to be here right now, man. Who the fuck gave them the right to take him away from his daughters? Who the fuck? So I'm about to go post some pictures of him up on my community wall. And I wish he was still here. I wish I would have been there to have my nephews back, man. I wish I would have been there to have my nephews back. That's all I'm saying. I'll never forget you, nephew. And I always love you. And I always cherish the times we spent together. All right, y'all. I love y'all. You know, Gun Free Nation salute, man. Y'all stay armed. Y'all stay responsible with your firearms. Stay righteous. And be ready to send a goddamn savage to Funky Town, goddammit. Cause them motherfuckers deserve that shit, you feel me? They fucking deserve that shit, man. I'm out of here, y'all. I love y'all, Gun Free Nation salute.